How are you, Chief?
I'm phenomenal. I really appreciate you giving us time today. It's an honor to be here.
It's an honor for me to have the opportunity to speak with you, Chief, and I want to thank you. I hope this is recording. I want to thank you for the service you've given to our country and to humankind. Chief, tell us a little bit about the Veterans Day and the importance of the people that have at times given their lives for freedom. Tell us about your involvement.
Oh, sir. On behalf of Lieutenant General Lucky and Command Sergeant Major Ted Copeland, I'm part of America's Army Reserve, and we're 200,000 men and women serving across 20 time zones, and we love our veterans from all services, and for their sacrifice at the times they were part of that shield that guards the American way of life, and we love them, and we just want to put our arm around them.
Tell us about please.
I'm sorry, sir. You're coming in a little bit broken.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm in a subway at this moment. Tell us about the Army Reserve. How does somebody join the Army Reserve, and what do they do?
Yes, sir. You go to any Main Street recruiting station that says Army on it, and they'll talk with you right away. We've got a website called usar.army.mil, and that also provides links to get into recruiting. What we are is that we're only about, out of that 200,000, only about 10% of us are full-time soldiers. The rest all come from every walk of life in American society. We've got medical practitioners, doctors, lawyers, engineers, scientists, college students, blue-collar folks you see every day on the street. If they look fit, like they could be in the military, then they could very easily be an Army Reserve soldier.
In some countries, it's mandatory to part of the country's army. Isn't that so?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's called conscription or mandatory military service, and that's been talked about in this country. But we're an all-volunteer force, and we have been for far longer than I've been serving, and it seems to be working out pretty well for us.
Tell me about for you and for the Army Reserve. Will there be certain things that'll happen to show to due respect to our veterans?
I'm sorry, a little bit broken on the initial part of the statement.
Any unusual things that will happen on the 11th, right? November 11th is Veterans Day.
Yes, sir. Here's what's special about this one is the 100th anniversary of the holiday. It was established in November 100 years ago, and so. But the interesting thing is that when you think about it, the Army Reserve, for example, we're 111 years old, and every year we've mobilized soldiers into harm's way. We've got over 14,000 of them right now serving outside the United States on various deployments, and so it's just an ongoing service to the nation.
When there's a disaster, sometimes they're bringing out the reserve. What does that mean?
So I really appreciate you asking. There's usually about four top things but there's multiple things that the nation calls on the Army Reserve for, and it's engineering capability, it's medical capability. What the Army Reserve was initially established for 110 years ago, and the overall title of it is Defense Support to Civil Authorities, but usually we get asked to provide engineering, combat engineer type capabilities for route clearance. We get asked to provide medical support, water and food, transportation assets like trucks. We've got a lot of big trucks. So that's what we do in the sort of emergency situations, the immediate response authorities. That's what we get called forward to help out with.
I'm going to ask you one question, and I remember a quote from Dwight Eisenhower, President Commander Dwight Eisenhower, saying, "If you ever learn a piece, ask a soldier." I'd like to ask you, what We're involved with World Peace and the International Day of Peace, as every soldier is involved with World Peace. What does peace mean to you?
Sir, I really think of veterans a lot when I think of all the sacrifices that we've made just so that we can prevent wars. And what is peace? Peace is a world without war, a world without violence, so that people can live in prosperity without fear. And that is very much a part of what we're here to do is to deter war. We do not want wars to happen.
And I know that very well. And congratulations. Thank you for coming out and saying that, and for the important work that you do. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Paul, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to share the message. God bless you. Happy Veterans Day. And
Happy Veterans Day to you. Take care. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.